Hi. In this video, I want you to learn how to make it happen. What does make it happen mean? Well, this came straight from my therapist a million years ago, okay? And what it has to do with is follow through regarding parenting your children. So let's say you ask your child to pick their shoes up or to pick up all their toys that are strewn around the living room, or their shoes and their book bag, their backpack from the kitchen, okay? Now, what my mother used to do is my mother would ask my sister, we're almost 11 years apart. My mother would ask my sister, honey, will you do that chore? Honey, will you pick up those shoes? Honey, will you pick up those shoes? Honey, will you pick up those shoes? I mean, my mother would lose it, okay? Because she had asked my sister 3 and 4 and 5 or more times to do something. Instead of asking my sister once or asking your child once, honey, will you pick up your backpack and your tennis shoes because I'm going to set the table and we're going to have dinner. If your child doesn't do it after once, okay, then I don't care. If you have to turn all the burners off, you're in the middle of making dinner, turn off all the burners for five seconds, walk over to your child and say, come on, babe, and guide them over to picking up their shoes and picking up their backpack and putting them away in their room. Now it's done. You asked once. They didn't do it. You followed through. So you're exhibiting follow through with your children. And it's done. Now you turn all the burners back on and you go back to making dinner. Okay? You ask your child, honey, will you please set the table? Your child doesn't set the table after the first time? Okay, maybe you could ask a second time, sweetheart, I'm in the middle of cooking. Will you please set the table? If they don't, turn the burners off. Go get your child and say, come on, let's set the table. And the two of you set the table together, and then you go turn the burners back on. Now I get that this is in theory. I get it, okay? So sometimes you will be able to afford the opportunity to make it happen, and other times you will not. But trust me when I tell you, it's called intermittent reinforcement. If you make it happen more often than not, guess what will happen? Your children will hear you the first time and they will make it happen. Okay? I'm really serious when I say this. Intermittent reinforcement. You do not have to do this every single time, especially if it's just not possible for you to do it. But if you make it happen more often than not, your children will then hear your request the first time and do it. I promise. It works. Intermittent reinforcement, both for yourselves, make it happen, and for them, make it happen. Okay? Enough said. Bye now.